In the winter of 1959, 9 hikers embarked on a journey through the treacherous slopes of the Ural Mountains in the Soviet Union. These were not ordinary travelers. They were experienced mountaineers, students, and graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute, led by the skilled and determined Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was to reach Mount Otorten, a challenging yet achievable feat for a group of their expertise. However, what began as an adventure into the wilderness transformed into one of the most perplexing and eerie mysteries in modern history. The group set out on January 27th, full of energy and optimism, leaving behind the small settlement of Vizhai, the last trace of civilization before the untamed mountains. Over the next several days, they trekked through snow-laden terrain, battling the biting cold. Diaries and photographs recovered later would reveal a group in high spirits, despite the harsh conditions. Their journey came to an abrupt halt on February 1st, when they pitched their tent on the eastern slopes of a mountain the local Mansi people called Kolet Sayakal, or Dead Mountain. Little did they know, this campsite would become the site of their mysterious demise. Weeks passed without word from the hikers. When the group failed to send their expected telegram upon completing the trek, concern grew. A search party was assembled, consisting of volunteers, military personnel, and local Mansi hunters. What they found on February 26th would chill even the most seasoned rescuers. The hiker's tent was discovered first. It was in disarray, partially buried in snow and strangely slashed open from the inside. This detail alone baffled investigators. Why would experienced mountaineers, who understood the dangers of exposure, cut their only shelter and flee into the night? Footprints led away from the tent, scattered and inconsistent. Some were made by bare feet, others by socks or a single boot. The tracks disappeared into the snow, leading toward the edge of a dense forest. At the forest's edge, the first bodies were found. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonischenko lay under a towering cedar tree, dressed only in their underwear. Their hands were severely burned, suggesting they had desperately tried to light a fire to stay warm. Nearby branches were broken, as if one or both had climbed the tree, perhaps to escape something or someone. Between the tree and the tent, searchers found 3 more bodies: Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kalmogorova, and Rustam Slobodin. Their positions suggested they were trying to return to the campsite when they succumbed to the freezing cold. Slobodin had a small skull fracture, but his injuries were not deemed fatal. The remaining 4 hikers were not located until 2 months later, when the snow began to thaw. Their bodies were discovered in a ravine further into the forest, and the mystery only deepened. Ludmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov suffered severe internal injuries, including broken ribs, yet their bodies bore no external wounds. Dubinina was missing her tongue, a grotesque and unsettling detail that has fueled speculation for decades. Alexander Kolevatov and Nikolai Thibault-Brignol were also found with significant injuries. Adding to the mystery, some of their clothing was discovered to contain traces of radiation. Theories about what happened that fateful night abound. Some suggest an avalanche or severe katabatic winds forced the group to flee in panic. Others speculate that the hikers stumbled into a secret Soviet military experiment or weapons test, possibly explaining the radiation. Stranger theories involve UFOs or supernatural forces, spurred by reports of mysterious orange lights seen in the sky around the time of their deaths. Despite extensive investigations and the passage of more than 6 decades, the events at Dyatlov Pass remain unsolved. The hikers' final moments are shrouded in darkness, leaving behind a haunting legacy that continues to captivate and terrify those who seek to understand what really happened on Dead Mountain.